Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy, and this is your weekly reading where we talk all about what messages I've received in regard to the weekly energy and how we can essentially make the most of this weekly energy that we have going on. Although we're really seeing a lot of spillover from last week's energy, and I think that next week's energy will feel pretty similar too. So definitely, if you haven't caught last week's video or even the video from the week before, there's still important messages there that are applying to this energy that we have going on. But let's talk about what's going on with this week, because as I've talked about in past videos, we have two major planets in retrograde right now. This is pretty significant. We have, hi Meg, nice to see you on here. We have Mars in retrograde, which has been in retrograde for a long time. And it is going to be finally coming out of retrograde. I believe it's January 12th. And this carries with it a pretty heavy energy sometimes. It will spark us to feel more angry, more aggressive, more anxious. And we are going to be seeing the shadow effects of that until about mid-March, I believe. So expect that even though this is coming to a close, that we're going to continue to see some of this energy playing out here. So with this energy, the biggest thing that I recommend is just to be aware of how you're interacting with people, how you're responding to people, how you're being triggered. Triggers are huge this week, and we're going to be talking about that. So notice where you are being triggered and be really, really conscious about how you respond to those triggers, because there is much more risk in this energy of being reactive, of responding in a way that you're not going to feel good about on the other side of that. So taking some time, taking a pause, taking a few breaths, taking even a day to process the information before you respond to what is going on, making sure that we're taking that time. We also have Mercury in retrograde. And as you guys know, this is a challenging energy. This is an energy that so many people tend to dread. This is the retrograde that most people talk about, because we know during this 3-week period of time, we're going to have our stuff brought to the surface. We're going to have the stuff that we have left over that we need to deal with brought to the surface for us to work on. This doesn't tend to be the most fun thing that we have to do. So it can definitely be challenging, but Mercury retrograde, it tends to happen 3 to 4 times a year. It's an opportunity, and I try to treat it like an opportunity. Now, talk to me at the end of this retrograde. I might be feeling like I'm over it too, right? But I tend to treat it like an opportunity to show me where I still have work to do, to show me what I need to heal, and to also give me an opportunity to slow down. We just got, many of us are now on the other side of the holidays and have been very busy, and that Sagittarius energy that we are in can keep us very busy and moving and active. And I've been talking about how this new year is a slower start, right? Definitely during retrogrades, the energy slows down. So if things are feeling slow, if they're feeling stuck, if it just doesn't feel like it's moving, or you're feeling slow, right? Because we can tend to not feel as energized during Mercury retrograde. Give yourself some grace. Let yourself just kind of go at the pace that you're feeling connected to go at during this period, because we don't want to push ourselves too hard, especially during a retrograde. This is meant to be a time of This is meant to be a time of all of the things that start with redo, reflect, reorganize, all of the things, right? So we want to use this energy to process things, and we're going to find ourselves looking back. I've been talking about how there's very much, because of this and some other things that we have going on in the energy, an energy of nostalgia, right? And if you allow this energy to tell you a story of past situations and allow them to be, how do I want to say this? What we don't want to do is, while we are in this nostalgic energy, to tell ourselves a story that is better than the actual reality of what the situation was. Right? I think that when we're in this energy, we can have a tendency to do that. This is Mercury retrograde, that people can tend to get back together with their exes during this time. I definitely don't recommend it. I said that in one of my reels you guys broke up for a reason, you ended things for a reason. Let the past stay in the past. But it doesn't just have to be with relationships. This is with anything. What we want to do is we want to reflect on the past, we want to learn from the past, we want to process the past and the things that are coming up for us, but also not going backwards with our lives. We want to continue to move forward. So, what can I learn from that relationship that didn't work out? How do I want to do better moving forward in the future in other relationships, in other situations, right? Without going backwards and repeating the same damn pattern that we've been repeating for years, months, whatever. So being really mindful of that, this is not a time to go backwards, but you are going to feel in some ways like you want to go backwards or you want to reconnect or, letting that nostalgia lead you into a place that intuitively you're going to know isn't best for you. So that's your warning. Be mindful of that. I want you to pay attention to where you're feeling triggered. What is coming up for you? Where are you feeling reactive? And instead of, letting yourself stay in the energy of anger, upset, sadness, anxiety, whatever it is, whatever is being triggered within you, take a step back from that and consciously process it. Why is this triggering to me? What is this showing me? What is this showing me that I need to heal within myself? What is it that I'm needing? What changes am I needing to be making for myself? This is an opportunity. These triggers are here for a reason, not to, give you a stressful 3 weeks in Mercury retrograde, not to make you feel terrible or make you feel like a victim. In fact, I think if we allow ourselves to lean into a mindset of being a victim and focusing too much on just venting and being the victim in a situation rather than being proactive in terms of what changes do I need to make, or what can I learn from this, or what can I shift from this, or that kind of stuff. I think if we go into that victim mentality, we're going to miss the entire purpose of this energy that we have here. This energy is meant to bring us to a place of empowerment, to understand that we are powerful co-creators in our life and we have all of the ability in the world to create a life that we're excited about. But we can't get there without releasing the things that are holding us back, without breaking free from the chains that are preventing us. And we've been talking for a long time about this energetic move that we had shifted into, right? I've been talking about that for quite some time. And I feel like we're now in this energy of we have energetically moved. We've started to lean into new beginnings, but at the same time, it's all kind of cloudy right now. We don't necessarily see where that new beginning is leading. And right now, think about just like when you move homes, right? You move things in and you've cleared out a bunch of stuff. We've been doing a lot of clearing, but then you get into the new home and you start to set things up in your new home and you take a look at that and you go, you know what? I liked that in the home that I lived at before, but it doesn't quite fit in this energy of this home that I have now, or I don't like it in the same way that I liked it. And I think that we're doing that right now where we're taking a look at things. We have still brought a bunch of our bullshit with us into this energy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So recognize where your bullshit is. Your triggers are going to show you where your bullshit is. And then ask yourself, ask your higher power, what do I need to do about this? How do I heal this? What do I need right now? That's a great question every day, all day through this Mercury retrograde. What do I need right now? What's going to help to bring me into balance? What am I learning through this triggering process? Do not run from the triggers. If you run from the triggers, again, you have missed the entire point of Mercury retrograde. Use them to learn about yourself, to learn about what you need to change, to learn about what you need to heal, to learn about what you're needing, right? Because a lot of this is showing us what it is that we're needing. And this is so, so important. So allow it to show you. So, and noticing those triggers, again, I'm going to say it one more time, notice the triggers without allowing yourself to go backward. We're not doing that. We've moved out of that energy and we're going to continue to move forward. But right now is a little bit of that slowdown to allow us to process, to adjust, to reflect, to catch up. and maybe to get a little bit of extra rest and a little bit more time to reflect in our own energy. Those are really key and big priorities here in this energy. Let's take a look at the cards that I pulled here for this. So the first card that I have, and this is important, right? We have I'm pulling from my Akashic Tarot deck. We have the Initiation and the Count Saint Germain, okay? So this is important because all of this is about connecting us to living our most purposeful life, right? This card is very much about connecting us to our purpose. And I think that if we can work on this healing process, we're going to find ourselves being led toward living our most joyful and most purposeful life. So notice it, and notice how this energy serves a purpose on its own as well. And it may be uncomfortable, but I find that the universe likes to make us uncomfortable because that's where a lot of that growth happens. That's where we get pushed out of our comfort zones. Maybe we get so uncomfortable with some of these triggers that it finally moves us in a way that we haven't been brave enough to move before, even though intuitively we felt it, intuitively we wanted it. So I think that there's so much that's happening, and it's leading us down our best life path, down the path that's going to allow us to be our most purposeful, to serve in the ways that we came here to serve. Each and every one of us came here with a way that we are here to serve, and each and every one of us came with a purpose, several purposes. You're here for a reason, each and every one of us. The next card that we have here is the Queen of Scrolls, which is the Queen of Swords. Reflective energy, taking time to reflect, to listen, to go within, to hear ourselves. But also the Queen of Swords has that sword, and she cuts out whatever it is that she needs to cut out of her life that she recognizes does not serve her, right? And she does it without getting too caught up in her emotions. She just very, very bravely cuts those things out. And she is the bullshit detector of the tarot, right? She sees through it all. And I think we might feel kind of cloudy. We might feel kind of unclear in this Mercury retrograde energy. But when you get that clarity, when you see it, do what you got to do. You know, follow through with those intuitive prompts that you're getting, because you will have moments of clarity. Or if you don't now, you will find yourself having more clarity as we wrap up this Mercury retrograde, as we get closer to a little bit after, I believe it's January 18th is when Mercury goes direct. So the next card that we have is the Setting Your Course card in reverse. You might feel cloudy about the path, about the steps. So this is saying just take steps in the direction of the things that you feel called to take steps in as you feel called to do that. So you might not know exactly where you're going, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm taking this leap of faith, or I'm taking this step in this direction, and I don't know exactly where this path is taking me, and I'm scared and I'm unsure, but something within me, my intuition, is showing me this is the direction that I need to go in. And so you go and understand that you're not going to have all of the answers, and you're not going to have the full vision, but you and God together, you and the universe together are doing this. And if you can lean into your faith, if you can lean into your trust and keep moving in the direction that you are being led, it's going to take you to incredible things in your life. The King of Roses, the King of Cups. The King of Cups to me embodies the energy of learning how to manage his emotions. He understands that he can remain open-hearted, but at the same time, his emotions are not guiding the decisions that he's making for himself. He's not emotionally reactive. He has matured into a person who understands that he's got to make decisions from a heart-centered place, but at the same time, not from an emotional place, from a place of love, from a place of love for himself. And this is an energy that applies for all of us, right? Us choosing from a place of love for self and making those decisions, but making sure that we're taking the pause to not just react in the moment, because I think that we're going to say things and do things that we're going to regret. The next card that we have here is the Light of the World card in reverse. This is the Star in reverse. So we might not feel completely connected to our light this time. Shine anyway, right? Keep coming back to your light as often as you possibly can. And also let it be okay if you have moments that don't feel very light filled. Understand that this is an opportunity for healing as well. And when we can heal that, we clear away all of the darkness and the heaviness that covers up the light. The light is never extinguished within us, but it gets covered with heaviness, with negativity, with darkness. And the more that we allow ourselves to heal, it's like we're emptying out that negativity and that darkness and unveiling that light, uncovering that light, and allowing that light room to grow again. That is what this Mercury retrograde is about. And I called my video last week the best Mercury retrograde of your life. And I feel like it is an opportunity for it to be that, where we are seriously leveling up through this process and through this journey. The last card that we have here is the War of the Roses. This is the Six of Cups. Doing an assessment and exploring, where do I want to invest my time and energy? Where am I getting a solid return on investment? Where are there people, places, and things that appreciate the things that I have to contribute? And where am I giving, and never feeling like I'm receiving in return? Where am I giving so much that I feel depleted? Where am I focusing my mindset, my thoughts on things that I know don't help me, don't serve me? Where am I worrying too much? Where am I focused on what isn't going well instead of what I want in the direction that I want to head in, or what can go well in my life, or what I'm grateful for? There's this whole assessment that's happening during this time period. And this is really important. Now, this particular card is also about deciding to walk away. You know, sometimes when we get caught up in a conflict, when we get caught up in an argument or a dynamic that is very conflict based, there can be this tendency to want to just keep it going, right? You keep adding another log on the fire. And this is saying there's a lot of power in not continuing to add another log on the fire, even though your ego may want you to. Your ego may want to say that thing, do that thing, get that revenge. That's not what light does. And you are light, right? You are light. And so sometimes we need to say what we need to say, and then we need to disconnect. Or sometimes we don't even need to say anything, right? We can just kind of allow our energy to flow out of that and understand that this no longer serves us. It's recognizing what no longer serves us, recognizing our bullshit again, and allowing ourselves to disconnect from that without the need for all the drama and theatrics and continuing to keep it going, because every time that you contribute energy to that, you're throwing another log on the fire. So those are your messages here for this week. I hope that these resonate with you. If they do, please make sure to like this video, share this video. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. I always appreciate that. If you are watching this on my YouTube, I always do this video live on Tuesday evenings. So you may want to follow me under Christy Waters Forsyth on Facebook as well, so you can catch my videos live. Eventually I'm going to be switching them over, I think, to doing live on YouTube. But for now, we're going to keep it here on Facebook. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you soon with another video. I'm sending you light through all of this tricky to navigate energy. Take care, guys.